So in all honesty, my job isn't to talk you in to taking AP Studio Art. If anything, my job is to talk you out of it. Because it's not right for everybody. It's not an easy class. It's a college level class. And not everybody in high school is ready to get college credit. So I want to walk you through so that you understand what's expected of you, and then you'll kind of figure out whether it's right for you. For those of you that are not juniors, this is a great time to really be thinking about it, because it is nice to start preparing and thinking through some of this, the whole process. So for students that are college bound, about $1,800 worth of college credit, and that will go towards art majors or non-art majors, because you will probably need electives. So what happens is you come into the class, and I become less of a teacher and more of a coach, because as I come along beside you and you tell me what you want to do, the other students in the class, they give a ton of feedback. In fact, during a crit, they a lot of times give more feedback than I do. And if they don't cover something I want to cover, I'll jump in. But a lot of times it's them telling you what the issues are with your work. You will pick a theme, and the theme can be commercial, where you just simply say, hey, I want to design some t-shirts and sell them. It can be biographical, where you're really exploring something to do with your personality, your background. Political, narrative. I have students that do graphic novels, storytelling, and it can be educational, where you teach us about something. Veterinary medicine, and they explore the diseases of horses. It can be that specific. That can be humorous. The only thing I ask you to do is don't make it boring. We want your art to be interesting. It's something you're excited about, and you do research on, and you really become invested in it. When possible, if there is a major that you're thinking about for college, it doesn't have to be an art major. It's really interesting to see students explore a major in an AP portfolio. So if you're interested in psychology, it's a great time to explore personalities, any kind of disorder, so art therapy, all that stuff. It's possible that you'll have a major that you're not interested in exploring in a portfolio. That's okay, but it is something to consider. Materials. You don't have to like to draw to take this course, okay? You could be a photographer, ceramics. I really love to see students that are exploring other materials, maybe less conventional. I'd love to have somebody come in and do basket weaving. There's a lot of art that has been lost over the years that students aren't doing very much of. It's not stuff we teach. If this doesn't fit you, ignore what I'm saying. But I'd love to see more students tackling things like furniture or snowshoes, or these kind of like, just because sometimes we just think creativity has to be on a canvas, or has to be on paper, or has to be on our tablets, digital. Like, art is bigger, and I honestly think some of these things are going to there's going to be a renaissance for hands-on craft things, because we're so digitized. Everything's on our phone, and I think there's going to be a rebirth, a new golden age of handmade things, because we're just saturated with digital. Now, if digital is the right choice for you, stay the course. Ignore what I'm saying. But for those of you that are flip-flopping a little bit, maybe think about working with a needle and thread and weaving and carving and stuff. If it is something you've dabbled in and you're interested in, I can help you connect with a mentor, and you can explore some things out. I had a student once do plating for culinary arts, so he just took photos of the food he was cooking and laying things out. If you like to paint and draw, this is a good class for you. We're not limited to that at all. And so I love to see students explore out engineering, architecture, all those other types of topics. Normally we do try to think of an interdisciplinary focus, so if it is like a student wants to do a graphic novel, then your ability to write is important. Art therapy, psychology. But any of the STEM classes, from science, medicine, any of those can feed into an AP portfolio very well. It's the way typically college students think. It's definitely the way grad students think. The problems with using synthetics and dyes in food, those of you that have been down to the PAC, we have a photography exhibit about environmentalists, and that is very typical of what you're going to see in contemporary art. They're going to explore topics that are dealing in the sciences. So yes, art can be just because it's beautiful, but a lot of art goes deeper than that and explores a lot of different topics like that. So that would be the interdisciplinary focus, discipline meaning the discipline of art, and then the discipline of some other subject area. I have students at the college level, high school, who say, how do I develop my own style? Style comes by making a lot of art. And so looking at a lot of art and making a lot of art is the key. And if you don't make a lot of art, your style's not consistent. I remember early in my career I was applying to art exhibits, and I would send slides out to New York, to California, different places, and I kept getting rejected. And then as I made more art faster and consistently, and I would send in my $25 with my 3 slides, I kept getting accepted. So when they looked at those 3 slides, they all looked consistent, they all had a similar voice. That's what we need from you, is just get in and make consistent work. All of you have your own direction, and you're not being compared to the student next to you. You're doing your own thing with your own voice and your own direction. You don't need to be successful doing what Jimmy and Sarah and Juan and Julio are doing. You need to do what you do and do it well. You will have to have some skills, okay? Your creative skills and your interesting theme with what I call Gestalt, this kind of overall sense of well-being in the work, craftsmanship and all that, could lead you to a perfect score. An AP perfect score is 5. If you want to go to Harvard, they're not taking your credit unless it's a 5. Most colleges will take a 4 or 3. Nobody's taking a 2 or a 1. So you'd have to at least get a 3 for Ivy Tech to take you, Grace College. So what are our deadlines? First, we just chill and we make art. We just sketch, we're playing around, we're exploring things out. But our deadline is by December, we have to have 6 images done for the Scholastics portfolio. If you get a gold, you get $10,000. Or if you get a silver, you get $1,000, and then art schools are just fussing over you. If you get at least an honorable mention, we know you're kind of on the right track. College Board is in May, and that's when 15 pieces are due. Those can overlap. So the ones that were in the Scholastics portfolio could be pulling from those 15 images. You can do breadth or focus. Focus would mean I decide I'm going to do 6 snow sculptures. I'm going to carve out 6 of them and I'm going to document them. Okay, that would be focus. Breadth would be I'm going to do 3, and then I'm also in Mr. Tomsik's ceramics class. I'm going to put a couple of his ceramics pieces in. I'm in photography and I'm doing etching in Schwarzschild class, so I pull those together. That's breadth. It shows diversity. Sometimes that's even better, but typically they tend to like to find students who have good focus and a voice, and they're trying to say something. So that's the best case scenario. Students want to do like makeup for film and so on. So they'll get the fake flesh and go in. I've had like 5 or 6 students over the past 15 years do this. They love to see a whole series of that. Like, not can you do it one time well, but do you have a creative imagination? Do that in diverse ways. Can you come up with multiple interesting t-shirt designs? Are you really good at logo designs? Can you come up with a variety of those? Vehicles. What does that look like to have 10 or 15? It has more punch to it, so we really like to try to hit the focus as much as we can. It's a 2-semester class, but it will be your senior year. I rarely allow juniors because it's a college level class and it's already a challenge for seniors to be successful. So I rarely allow juniors. Encourage you to not skip your senior year. I have rarely met a student that's that smart and that mature that they can skip their senior year. Senior year is a great time to get college credits, to beef up on diversity of classes, finish high school, and then go to college and go through all of college. I think is a good experience.
How many art classes do you have to take?
It used to be 4. But if I already know you, you're good. Or you're not good. Depending on the situation, I'll say this isn't a good fit for you. Because I know it's not. I'm telling you, it's not an easy class. So if you'd rather play video games in your free time or binge on Netflix and stuff, this is not the right class for you. Or if you like say, I already know I'm going to work at Taco Bell every day and I'm on the swim team and whatever. But this takes a certain amount of time. I just double check with other art teachers and see what kind of student are you. I'm more interested in work ethic, your ability to like stay focused for sustained amounts of time, than I am your talent. I don't believe in you're born with a talent. I think it's developed out by work ethic. And I've seen that to be true. I've had students that are in the industry now that when they were students, they were kind of average, but they just always worked. And they did that all the way through their career, and now they're doing stuff for big name companies and doing great stuff. You apply, try to get good grades in your art classes, and I'll look at it. Yeah.
So the whole point of the class is like making the portfolio. It's not really like how other art classes work.
It's much more self-directed. So you end up coming up with a studio plan, and you tell me what your objectives are, and then I try to figure out, do I think you could be successful in pulling off the score? And I help tweak it a little bit sometimes. You know, I've had my grandpa did a personality test that people use all over the world, and I'd like to do pots that represent each personality. That's a real example of a student's project. I didn't have to make any tweaks to that. It was a great project. It did very well. During the second semester, we will do some projects together. We do what's called a Joseph Cornell box. And I promise you, when we get to that point, you will be thankful that I tell you what to do, because you will be so burned out on being self-directed that you'll be begging me to tell you exactly what to do. They're all ready to be kind of remove themselves from their project and move into a more traditional teaching environment. Continue to take art classes, especially ones that are related to the things that you want to do. There's nothing really more frustrating for me to have a student come into my class and want to do digital design and never take Mr. Morrow's class. You need to be there. If you want to do fashion design and you're not behind a sewing machine, that's not good. You want to figure out the interest that you have and try to make sure, because it makes no sense for you to come do a ceramics portfolio and have never worked with Mr. Tomsick. Our school's pushing this, the idea that you take classes that are related to a career that you want to do. But I find it really does help with AP too, because most of my AP students are not going into a career in art. Most of them just want the college credit. They've enjoyed art classes. Some students decide they want to go into art as a career, take my class, and then change their mind. They realize that's a lot of work. Mood, I don't care about your mood. I don't care how you feel when you come in. We make art. This is a production studio. What we do is we don't think about it. We just show up and make and create. That's what we do, because we're artists. We don't always make art because we want to. It's just because that's who we are, right? It's how we tick. That you can go and sign up for a workshop for the day to study watercolor with someone like Terry Armstrong here in town. Sometimes they cost money. Some of the workshops are free as a way to try to recruit you. You can go, if you're serious about art school, I would highly recommend, especially if you want to go into fashion design, is going to ArtLink in Fort Wayne and doing figure drawing sessions. You'd have to talk to your parents because they are nude figure drawing sessions. But if you're serious about art school, a lot of art schools would expect you to have already had that experience in high school. And for fashion design or animation or anything like that, to have had 4 years of that, you would be impressive. So there are things that we can't offer here at Warsaw High School that you need to be looking around for that fit your goals, your ambitions of what you want to do. Talk to your parents about it and try to figure out what are some things that you could do. And then there's also little things that pop up. A couple days ago, the yearbook said they need some art. Jump in, do these things. Sometimes when they're done, a wagon wheel banner, yearbook drawing, little things like that can be plugged into the 15, especially if it's published. It looks really good to have published work. So you show your original work and then you show it hanging in town or whatever, those kind of things. It can be really fun. Also, I would highly recommend staying connected with Lakeland Art Center here in town. You can volunteer over there, just kind of help out. But it's just a way to have a sense of community with art that's kind of bigger than just being here at the school. Your senior year, there's a scholarship that they give out. Any other questions? Yeah.
I don't know if you said this already, but if you did, I'm sorry in advance. But when you sign up, if you want us to submit things that we've already made, like to you, are you gonna, is that later?
When you sign up, I will give you a Google Drive folder and you will actually upload past work. So please don't throw things away that are good. And if you give them away to friends, document them well. But sometimes what happens is a student will do 10 pieces and then get COVID or something. We can pull from past work. We don't like to do that because you're getting better. So we don't like to pull from past work, but we can. You'll end up uploading things in Google Drive, and that's kind of how we do our critiques. Today, we spent all period looking at one student's work. We looked at 4 images, sitting on desks, just looking at the work. Nobody cried. It was a good day. Yes?
If you want to do like something with like painting, could you do both like physical paintings and digital paintings?
A person can make sculptures and paintings and have the same voice. In fact, it could be very effective. And what you want to do is you ask yourself, what is the same? This is a critical idea. What's the same? What's different? So sometimes what a person will do is they'll say, well, my style, I want my style to kind of work with orange and blue, and kind of I want it to be kind of abstract. And I'm going to do a painting and a 3D sculpture that way. And you could do, 10 and 5. Or you could do 5 paintings and 10 drawings. There are ways to merge things together, photography and sculpture, digital animation and film. Like, there are ways to do that, so especially people that paint. A good painting could take weeks, months, years. So what they might do is do 5 paintings and then a bunch of sketches showing the progress. And if those paintings are substantial, that might be all that's needed. But you don't have to feel like you just have to hack out work. I'd rather have high quality work than you just speeding through stuff. In the past, I've taken my students to Chicago, the Chicago Expo, where you actually get to see art that's done all around the world. With COVID, we haven't been doing that. This year we went to my house and made art, but we'll do something. Some kind of a trip.
Is that what they have on the news?
Yes,
Yeah, that was cool.
it's fun. We got a lot going on. Thank you guys. If you have other questions, you can email me.